Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, look at our lovely setup. Look at this. Bloody hell.
Like a sex dungeon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a
all the
big-
mood
yeah.
lighting bouncing off the walls. Red
Immedi-
is a very seductive colour.
Immediately, you've relegated to a sex dungeon in the eyes of our fan. So much work has gone into this
We
room.
spent all our money on this, and now
It's the red lighting. I didn't expect the red lighting.
like Amsterdam,
It's a
isn't it?
lovely touch, though.
Hello and welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. I'm Jack from Cultaholic, stepping in on hosting duties from Matthew, who's away to Germany for WXW.
To get coronavirus
There
and
it
bring
is.
back for everyone
Yep,
to share.
there it is. I've got a bit of a cold and I'm worried that it is, but I checked the symptoms and one of them is a dry cough, and I've not got a dry cough yet.
I had a dry cough earlier this week, and I was just like, "Oh, that's it. I'm
Have
done."
you experienced shortness of breath?
Always.
I get
Just
that every
walking to
day,
work.
Just walking to work, yeah.
And I'm joined by Ross on wrestling. How you doing, pal?
I'm not bad. How pal?
And the lovely Adam Pacitti. How are you doing, pal?
Away.
Hey, we miss you, Matthew. Right. So there's a lot of wrestling to talk about this week, from shows that happened this week to last week as well with AEW Revolution, which we'll come on to in just a few minutes. But first of all, let's talk about the news. New matches have been added to Elimination Chamber, which, believe it or not, is this Sunday already.
It's awful, isn't it? It's a word. I don't know why I'm complaining. I'm away on a stag do this
You're on a
weekend.
stag do
Yeah,
this
I can't
week? Where
wait.
are you going?
Budapest.
Budapest. I always mix up Budapest and Bucharest.
No, Budapest.
Which one's which country's Budapest in and which country's
Not a clue.
Good.
Sorry.
Yeah. Holland.
I don't know.
No, it's
actually.
not. No.
Holland?
One of
Where-
them's,
where
one
am I
of them- one of
going?
them's in
Oh, that's
Romania. I
embarrassing,
think
isn't it?
Bucharest's in Romania.
Hungary.
And
It's the other.
and
It's
Budapest in Hungary.
Yeah, that's the one.
That fella sang about it, didn't he? George. Big George. Looks a bit like you, Ezra.
Oh,
Oh, right. I'm not familiar.
you
with
did.
his
You
work.
did. Yeah.
Did he? Is it Budapest? I always thought it was Jerusalem for
We're
a long
off to
time.
a strong start on this podcast.
This is what we do. You ramble on tangents about British pop culture.
New matches have been added to Elimination Chamber. First and foremost, the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match. Hopefully, it'll be better than the previous Tag Team Elimination Chamber match in the men's division, which myself and Ross did not have complimentary things to talk about on our tier list. Check that out. The competitors in this match are the champions, Miz and Morrison, the New Day, the Usos, Heavy Machinery, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, and of course, the Lucha House Party out of nowhere.
Which is apparently because the Revival haven't re-signed, so they just tossed those
Is that
lads in.
why?
Yeah, apparently that's it.
That's
Well,
fair enough, that.
Yeah.
I hope it's like when Zack Ryder got added to that WrestleMania match at the last minute, and I hope the Lucha House Party bring it home.
They're just there for the pod, aren't they?
No,
They
they're
might
gonna
do
win.
some fun flippy stuff. They might do a memorable spot.
They might
I'm trying to
win.
think of anything memorable that either have ever done.
Grand Metalik's the president of the ropes. What's his nickname? The something of the ropes. He could transfer that to the cage. What's he called?
I don't know.
You must know.
I don't know.
He's
biggest
the
fan.
something of the ropes.
Sounds the 205 Live, man.
I
I
know.
don't know.
Hipster.
Lindsay Dorado does that thing sometimes where instead of splashing someone, he just planks and falls forward. That's good, isn't it? Could do that off the top of a pod. Hey. Oh, dear. Right, the Young Bucks are...
But there's a gauntlet match tonight to determine who will be last in.
I don't like
on
that.
SmackDown.
I don't like that.
Well, the
at all.
heel's going to win, aren't they?
Yeah, that makes
Joe
sense.
Mo and Miz
yeah.
will win, yeah, last in. Lose their titles to the Usos. Come on, the predictions.
You've gone for?
I've gone for the Usos, me.
Ooh, okay.
Because they dingled a little New Day versus Uso finalement, as Tom Campbell would say.
Right.
Yeah, the last ever match between them. I think that'll happen at WrestleMania. That's what I'm going for.
The Young Bucks and other news have appeared on free the delete Matt Hardy's video series. It just seems to confirm it, doesn't it? There wasn't anything actually said in the video. They just got out of a car. But...
No, you had to get rid of the Zenith. The Zenith was
Yeah.
dying, whatever the Zenith is. I'm not
Yeah.
too sure what the Zenith is. And then the Bucks of Youth turned up to help him crucify himself or something. 'Cause
He had a big cross.
Built a cross, yeah.
Am I right in saying this is the final episode in the season as well? So it's episode 10.
It's episode 10. I've got no idea.
I think
if
it
is the
might
last
be,
one.
which means he may be popping up next week
Maybe.
on NXT.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
The Young Bucks with him as well. They've crossed the line, hashtag. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Matt Hardy's a really creative guy. Hopefully they stop him from getting too weird, but that's just my opinion.
No, I hope they weird it up.
I hope as weird as TNA was, get the kangaroos. Rest in peace to the giraffe, of course, who died recently.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Stretch, his name.
Shoot died.
His shoot name was Stretch.
And just before we talk about Revolution, which happened last weekend, we're going to talk about one news story from the Wrestling Observer, which is Brian Alvarez saying that apparently Vince changed a lot of Raw again, ripped up the script prior to Monday
Every
night.
week, I thought he was stepping back. I thought that was the thing
For
that
the
he was
XFL?
Yeah, he was hardly there anymore. But apparently he's super involved, whether he's there or not. He was there this week though.
Well, Alvarez said, I don't know everything that happened on Monday, but I do know that this guy showed up and he changed everything again. Alvarez then went on to say that you could tell that Raw was noticeably worse because of it, but I think the bits of Raw were better than usual and bits of Raw were worse, so it was a bit of a...
I called it an average sandwich.
Okay.
You had a delightful slice of bread at the start, a delightful slice of bread at the end, and in the middle was just yeah. So I reckon Vince did the bleh and left the top and tail as it was.
Left the bread.
Aye.
Maybe. So we have to talk about AEW Revolution. Should we run through match by match or just linger on a few?
Linger on a few. I'm not going to lie here. I haven't had any time to really watch much wrestling this week. Which isn't me saying don't talk about it, but I'm not going to be much good here. All I've seen is the tag match and a bit of MJF Cody.
The tag match was
talk me
brilliant.
through it.
You've seen the best match on the show.
Yeah,
tag match was wonderful. Storytelling and everything. I'll run through it very quickly and we'll focus on important bits. So Jake Hager beat Dustin Rhodes after Dustin Rhodes forcibly kissed his wife and he's the good guy. Darby Allin.
But it's funny though, because we hate Hager, so seeing his wife get assaulted,
It's great, isn't it? It's just banter. We're all lads.
nice slapping.
Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara had a great match and pre-match.
Yes.
Sammy Guevara with a casual 630 off the top rope
Threw a table on the floor, yeah.
Absolutely nailed it as well. But Darby Allin picked up the victory and secured my victory in the predictions contest.
Don't worry, it's a can, not a light. I've got a can for later on, don't worry.
Darby Allin secured the victory there. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega retained the tag belts over the Young Bucks in what many are calling the best tag match of all time.
Aye.
It's up there.
It's the best tag match I've ever seen.
I'm trying to figure out which was better because I love Cody Dustin. Obviously not a tag match. I'm talking AEW
matches.
history. Yeah, it's right up there. I think they're sort of level. I love the storytelling in Dustin and Cody, but there was storytelling in the tag match as well. I thought it was terrific.
Hangman Page busted out some of Marty Scurll's moves in the match as well.
I did the old chicken wing jazz hands.
He did the "You're Dead," the fake super kick, and then the very good. I didn't want to slap in my leg for it. I think I'm a
He's a
wrestler.
wrestler.
Nyla Rose retained the title over Chris Statlander. Now, I was a little bit harsh on this match. I said it was I still think it was the worst match on the main card, but apparently Chris Statlander was suffering from a fever or flu or something before. So
Okay, difficult placement as well.
Yeah, very. The crowd were pretty burnt out for this one. They still sort of pulled it together by the end, and Nyla Rose picked up the big victory. MJF defeated Cody in disgusting fashion, in William Regal fashion with the diamond ring.
Lovely.
Yeah, great. Cody was devastated, apologising to individual people as he walked up the ramp. Sorry.
Well, just people in the crowd?
Mate. Yeah.
Loser.
Pac defeated Orange Cassidy and
We just missed the tattoo. What are your thoughts as a tattoo expert yourself? What's your thoughts on the tattoo?
You know what? It's awful. I'm just trying to be nice about it. It's not very nice, and I've seen like a high res version, a zoomed in version, and it doesn't look nice close up either. It looks like a walk in, which is where you just go in and say, this is what I want. And it's got a low resolution print out off Google Images of the logo. And slap that on me. It wasn't great.
The placement is weird. The neck is weird enough, but he wore a suit on Dynamite this week and you couldn't see it off of it.
Oh, right.
The entire point was to show off his brand. He's covered it up with a suit, which he knew he wore or knows he wears.
Well, I hope he sold lots of T-shirts.
So do I.
With the logo on.
It's his neck.
Somebody else. I can't wait to see a tweet of a fan getting that tattoo.
No, don't do it.
Get the Cultaholic logo.
Don't do that.
Somebody watching, do it. And we'll like the tweet.
Not there. That's not. I can't.
Come on.
Can't advocate that.
Free T-shirt if you do that.
Don't do it. Don't do
free
it.
T-shirt.
Yeah, of course.
10
don't.
new range.
20 free T-shirts.
Someone will, and then you're going to be like, someone actually did.
That's
you're
fine.
No,
I'd have a
not.
conscience.
Pac defeated. Speaking of people without a conscience, Pac defeated Orange Cassidy in a great match. Loved this.
I haven't smiled as much during a professional wrestling match as that one.
Really
I was
good.
smiling all the way through.
Can you talk me through it? Because I've not seen this one.
Right, Orange Cassidy goes to do his thing. Pac stops him, catches the hands. Orange Cassidy whips him onto the canvas, wrist lock takedown. He knows how to wrestle. Starts just running wild. It's amazing.
In the words of Chuck Taylor, he's gonna try. I moved back from the microphone just in case.
And he did try. And then Pac had spells of dominance as well because he's Pac, he's better. But he went up for the Black Arrow. Orange Cassidy rolled to the other side of the ring slowly, so he went to the other corner. He rolled back the other way, back and forth for a bit. And then the next flurry of offense that Orange Cassidy hit, Pac had to roll out the ring to get a breather, and it was really good. Really good.
I hope they don't overuse him. Like I think it's something that could maybe get tiresome if they do it too often.
Right.
But as a sort of showcase thing, Orange Cassidy I think is money.
Well, we'll see on Dynamite. There may be some kind of rematch or a type of rematch in the near future, but we'll talk about that in a bit. And in the main event, of course, the right sort of decision, I think. John Moxley beating Jericho. He's the new AEW World Champion. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, they had the mind made up for them, I presume, after Super Showdown. You know, Jericho being the older man and Moxley being the younger man. But yeah, it was the right choice. To be fair, I wouldn't have minded whoever won that match.
Really?
Jericho's been that good, hasn't he?
He has been really good.
It was a little bit sad to see him lose the title.
He's different to Goldberg because he turns up every week. And like he might not wrestle every week, but he's heavily involved in the program. That's the bigger concern. It's not the 53-year-old thing to me, because it's just like him actually being there.
Yeah. He's got a presence about him.
Yeah.
He's still one of the best promos in wrestling. And he can still wrestle a good match as well.
Yeah.
This was a good
wasn't
match.
fair anyway.
Wasn't fair?
Yeah.
Oh,
He had
because
2 eyes, didn't he?
Jericho trained for a man with one eye, but we'll get onto that later on as well. Yeah, I thought that was, in general, a really, really strong show from AEW. Not just because of the wrestling, but it shows that if you put time and effort into storylines, it can all pay off in the end.
Who would have thought that in wrestling? Eh? months of build for a payoff. Revolutionary, sorry.
Any other news anyone wants to talk about?
No.
Oh.
What does Matthew do now? Does he say going once and does that joke?
He does a thing that doesn't work for audio listeners where he'll do some little hand gesture and, blah, 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 and, and then he comes back, he's like, blah, and it just doesn't work.
That's the news.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
It's good, isn't it? We've been on a journey. Now it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. Last week's results in condescending order. I've really got all of his catchphrases
He does that
down.
because he doesn't know the difference between
He still does it.
Hope you have a great time in Germany, though, Matthew. We do miss you. It seems like we hate him. In last place, sadly, because I've rated it as a pick as well, it's Biscoff spread.
I think that's a travesty. That.
Delicious, by the way. I
Absolutely.
thought that was going to win. When I saw that go up, I was like, oh, yeah.
I didn't realise it was
so good.
Lots of American viewers as well tweet me going, "Oh, Ross, I fully get behind your pick." I didn't realise it was a thing in America. I thought it was nailed on for a win, but no.
16%, yeah, unfortunately. The BLT, an unimaginative but classic choice from Matthew, BLT sandwich. He specified not a meal deal BLT, one where you've fried the bacon yourself. You've put a bit of lettuce in, tomatoes obviously, but no, 30%. I don't think this is deserved, but my story actually...
Can you give me
Tell us again.
No.
Come on. All right from the start.
My
Can't
story's
wait
won
for
with
this.
54%, so that's going in the Hall of Fame just to give it a chance to flash the graphic up. You're going to rip into this.
I'm not. Go on.
I've probably told you an abridged version already.
Oh, okay,
off
go on then.
camera.
Mo, tell me.
I want the full fat version. I'm ready.
I helped this woman get to a fitness...
Carry on.
So, obviously, I was popping into now this office, the new space, heading back into the other office. There was a woman outside number 5. Yep. She was like, "Is this number 5?" I was like, "Yep." She was like, "The big number 5 on the wall outside." She was like, "Oh, so I'm here for the fitness class," and I thought, this isn't going to be unless you were doing a secret one on the side. No. She did not get an agenda. I then saw her daughter, I presume, a younger woman, drive off in the car. She was like, "Right, see you later. Off I go. Can I get out this way? Bye." She just left her with me. Could have been anyone. And
Should have done a Dustin Rhodes and kissed her.
exactly. But I made her day in a different way instead. I helped show it. Oh God.
What did you do to her, Jack?
Helped her
Finger.
find the
Carry on.
helped her find the correct number 5, which was a bit further down. It's called the same name as our street, but it's a different street, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, I hate it.
Delivery
Oh.
drivers the post gets confused all the time.
That's my head in that.
So I helped her find the actual fitness class, and that was the story.
That is good, isn't it?
No.
That should win the Hall of Fame.
Well, 'cause it
Although
was a
Biscoff
nice thing.
spread is
but-
delicious.
Yeah, Biscoff spread is
You
good.
ever had Biscoff on a pancake, though?
No.
Oh,
Good.
put it in the pancake and then fold it and it melts. And
Butter, right? A bit of butter as well?
Oh, no. I don't want a heart attack. I'm on the brink already.
I suppose, as tradition dictates, because I won last week, I'll start things
I
off.
suppose.
I'll go ahead. I'm going to go for a song that I'd never heard before, but I apparently it was a bit of a hit in the late 80s by Vanessa Paradis. I think she's called, Johnny Depp's first wife. But this is when she was a kid. This is when she was like 14.
This is losing, by the way.
Yeah, that's what Matthew said last week.
Did
and
he?
I screenshotted the results and sent them to him, and he went, "Oh, yeah." No. But this one won't win. But it's called Joe Le Taxi in French, which is Joe the taxi driver.
Yeah. You were telling me about this as well. Sing it for us.
Joe Le Taxi, c'est suave.
And this is something that you learned in GCSE French.
No. I never did French at school.
Right.
No, my girlfriend showed me this song to annoy me this week, but I liked it, so it's backfired on her spectacularly.
You know what? You were listening to this because you know there's Spotify upstairs is linked to my
Right.
thing, so I can see, like, if I'm at home or anything, I can see what people are listening. Like Aiden listens to Korn in the morning to get himself hyped up for
To get
news
him
writing.
fired up.
Does he actually?
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
That's
Yeah, he does.
amazing.
Yeah. And I saw that pop up.
Waiting for Tom to come in the office.
Something takes a part of me. Bam! Sorry, go on.
And I saw that you'd been listening to that in the office, and I didn't know if you were showing it off or you were just enjoying it on your lonesome.
Both.
Okay, yeah.
Well, people were there, but it was for me.
Gotcha.
But then Tom Campbell has been doing a bit of BBC Radio Newcastle this week, and he played Joe Taxi.
Oh,
yeah.
bless. I didn't think they were allowed to choose what they played anymore.
He's doing a throwback thing where it's songs from a certain year or a certain 2 years. And it just so happens that Joe the Taxi was released in one of the years that he was allowed to go for.
50,000 Geordies went, what the is this?
He'd heard of it before. I need to ask my parents if they had heard of it before. Apparently, it was a bit of a hit. It got to like number 6 in the UK back in the day.
Oh, congratulations. Maybe we can get them in sometime.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
Yeah, get her in. She's a massive star now, but yeah, apparently.
Really?
She grew-
I've
never heard of her.
She married Johnny Depp. I think she was like a model / actress or something.
I'd argue she's the third most famous Vanessa behind Carlton and Feltz.
We almost did it. Well, my previous job, when I was working for a production company, we were doing a documentary, and it was going to all be filmed in France. And you'll never guess who we were going to get to present the thing.
Dave Benson Phillips.
No, Frenchman.
Thierry Henry.
No,
Zinedine Zidane.
no.
Not a
Eric
footballer.
Cantona.
No. Antoine off Eurotrash, who is now a respected journalist.
Oh.
Apparently so.
Lugunu.
Yeah, it fell through.
Oh.
What's a bit of
issues.
trivia I know about Eurotrash? It was her. Will Mackenzie's, the one he fancies on the In-Betweeners.
His mum.
Yeah.
No, his man. He doesn't fancy his own man.
Charlotte Hinchcliffe.
Charlotte Hinchcliffe. Her mum did the voiceover, I think, for Eurotrash.
Emily
Attack. Attack.
She seems like a nice woman.
Aye.
Yeah, she's always seemed very down to earth when I've ever seen her interviewed. Just think she's a nice woman. Well, because she was kind of the unobtainable, like, fit girl in the In-Betweeners, wasn't she?
was,
So you
aye.
think, but she's really lovely.
And Will gave her some sweet, sweet loving.
Ross, what's your Hall of Fame pick? I hope it's linked.
It definitely is the sweet, sweet loving. It's Jay the Snake Roberts.
Yeah.
After this week's Dynamite, what more do you need to say? Go and watch the promo if you haven't already. Unbelievable scenes. The raspy voice made it better than it already was, and it was already fantastic. Just the way he was saying Caesar with his hands. It was like watching some sort of cracked man in a film.
It's one of those gimmicks where, like, the older he gets and the more husky, the better the gimmick is.
It feeds into that thing, like the old time, I used to be a star, but now I'm old and grizzled and I'm coming to take your pie, Cody, etc., etc. It's just them using legends the way they should be used. Like, we like nostalgia. We want to see the people we watched growing up. Don't want to see them beating the people who are around today. I guess that's a universal thing to say. So yeah, I just thought the promo was fantastic. And it's hinting towards something.
Yeah.
Yes, like Roman versus Goldberg, Spear versus Spear, Moxley versus Jake, DDT versus DDT.
What could you imagine that?
No.
They didn't let him do a DDT. Remember when he came back and I can't remember how the Shield got laid out, but Ambrose is there and he whacks the snake on him. And Ambrose is there and he's grinning because he's marking out bro. But they wouldn't let him do a DDT there, so I want to see a DDT in AEW.
He could do one because he hopped down off the apron like he was a spring chicken. The DDP-Y's been working.
He's looking great, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's just lovely to see.
That was
God bless DDP.
Yeah, and especially when he was like, I've been fighting for 20 years to get here, and here I am. It was just, goosebumps enduring.
So, Jay the Snake
Inducing, yeah.
Jay the Snake Roberts, Joe Taxi.
Well, when you started talking about that French song, I was going to try and beat it with a different French song that I learned at GCSE.
What did you learn? I learned.
Remember, bonjour monsieur, bonjour madame, bonjour mademoiselle, je me présente, je m'appelle
Mine was
Hélène Dupuis, je suis Hélène Dupuis.
Who's she? Ellen Dupuis.
I have no idea.
Mine
I
was
think she was on Eurotrash.
Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi et dimanche. France, France, France. There you go. There's your days of your week.
Oh.
But I'm
Rouge.
not going to go with that. Instead, I'm going to go for windmills. Because I've been thinking a lot about windmills over the last week. And I just realised that I bloody love them. And obviously I'm going to Holland/Hungary this week. And I imagine I'll be seeing a lot of windmills. I think they're majestic. And, we need them because I think they produce electricity or something. I don't know what they do. That's not true.
Can we have a bit of context to this?
No, it just
The
popped
real
into my head,
background
actually.
story of this pick.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's your favourite windmill?
Favorite windmill?
Steady now.
Oh, the windmill of Holland.
Windmills of your mind.
Yeah, yes. No, I saw Matthew saying at the beginning, was it last week's Hall of Fame thing or something? And he was talking about how apparently I can just tweet anything and get billions of likes. And he said, he just talked windmills like that. So I tweeted windmills. I didn't get anywhere near 1 billion likes.
No, but you got a lot of likes.
You got over 1,000, though, didn't you?
Yeah, thank you guys. Cheers.
What percentage of those do you think were people who got the joke, and just what percentage do you think just were like, oh, that's nice?
I imagine people saw it and just thought that's a nice picture that Adam's taken. So we'll get behind it. But no, it was Google Images. I didn't have the copyright. I didn't have permission to use it. So hopefully nobody dobs me in. But windmills are beautiful.
Yep. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
So, in summary, the Hall of Fame picks this week are Show the Taxi, hit of the mid to late 80s. Ross's is
Jack the Snack Roberts.
And Adam
Windmills.
Windmill.
This week in the wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
Yes, that was the theme tune to This Week in Wrestling by Jennifer Louise. And
40th birthday this week.
oh, that's horrible. You horrible man.
What?
She's not 40 years old.
She's 40.
Not 40.
Oh, she is.
40 years old.
Can't
She
get
posted on Facebook, you know.
Can't get on board with this joke.
She was born 40 years ago this week. Whatever year that was. I can't do maths.
Happy birthday, Jen, at the time of recording.
She'll see that as well, won't she? She's going to hate that.
I'm in the clear.
Okay.
I didn't play along with
I
these
did
games.
a tweet where I said that and people believed me and I felt a bit bad.
Oh, no.
People believe
People
you.
believe anything, don't they?
She looks younger than us.
I know, she looks about 22.
Not all of
I'd
us.
say.
Yeah, not.
SmackDown, which always feels weird to go back to, especially when there's been a pay-per-view over the weekend, but this one wasn't a WWE pay-per-view, it was an AEW one. So SmackDown still makes chronological sense. Were you about to...
It's just pointless, isn't it, SmackDown?
It's not the most captivating
It
wrestling.
just exists, doesn't it? Just
little bit.
exists.
So first of all, Goldberg opened the show. Not everyone was really thrilled to see him there after humiliating The Fiend at Super Showdown. He said it's not about who was last. Great, cheers, Bill. The Fiend's just, it's not about who was last, forget him, yeah. But who's next? Roman Reigns arrives, as everyone theorized, and they have a stare down, and Roman says that he's next.
He doesn't earn it. Well, he put the time in against Corbin, obviously, for several years to get here, but he didn't earn this particular title shot. He walked up to Bill and said, I'm here first, Bill, I'll take you on. And that's all he needed to do.
Such an easy fix. That's sort of what Elimination Chamber's there for. Why couldn't they just have... I mean, it's predictable and a bit crap still, but at least have him earn the match. It's a title match.
It feels like they were about to have a men's singles chamber, because Sheamus, I think, was talking about how he was going to batter people in the chamber or whatever. And there was rumors that, of course, there would be a match and Roman would win. But nothing's been announced so far, and we're only a couple of days away from the pay-per-view.
No, there's 2 chamber matches. They're not going to do another one now, are they?
3's quite a bit, yeah.
And the match is made. What's the point?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They missed out on such an easy storytelling thing here. When Goldberg was getting booed, why not feed into that more? I was like,
agreed.
why is he not saying, oh, the Fiend's crap, I'm 53 years old, your stars of today are rubbish. And then boo him some more. And then Roman, who is, the way he got, I guess, he has put the time in against Corbin. He hasn't had a shot to get the belt back. He lost when he had to go away for a bit, has he? He hasn't had a rematch for it. So I guess in terms of that, but it's a bit of an underwhelming thing when you realise it's all been about him still, if that makes any sense.
But they could have fixed that, as you say, if they'd gone in and had Goldberg as a heel and then Roman representing the new generation of today's wrestlers, to the WWE superstars, whatever, then people would have actually probably cheered.
They've done it before. They did it with Batista when he won the Rumble, and then he turned heel for Bryan to come in. But I think I remember hearing one of the hosts of The Observer, whether it was like Alvarez or Meltzer or Sempervivi or someone, but someone was talking about how Goldberg doesn't want that, and he might have just refused because he wants to be a hero to the kids and stuff, doesn't he? He wants to
Screw
be.
it. It's a bad story.
It's not about him, is it? It's about the company.
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to Goldberg's face though.
He's a nice man when you meet him.
Oh yeah, you did meet him.
I
Yeah.
met him. I was scared, but I wasn't that intimidated.
Did he call you brother?
No, he called me pal.
Pal.
Hello, pal. Coming here for a photograph, pal. Did that as well.
What?
Ruffled your hair?
Come on, get here.
What?
Carry on.
Later on, Naomi and Lacey Evans. Well, it was one of those impromptu matches that starts off as a singles match. 2 people get involved, and it was a Teddy Long special. Naomi and Lacey Evans, Lacey Evans is still a babyface. She's American. Naomi and Lacey Evans teamed up to beat Sasha and Bayley, with Naomi pinning the champion. And I've included these in the same point because it was an instance of the champions taking the pinfall in the same show. The Usos Usos beat Miz and Morrison with a pretty hellacious finish to the match.
That was a second rope Canadian destroyer, wasn't it? Into a splash.
Yeah. If you're going to beat the champions in a non-title match, that's probably the way to do it. But so soon after they won the belts
That's why I think they're losing.
in the chamber.
Yeah.
So
Straight
what's
away,
been
they've just swapped the carpet from under their feet.
There's just no point, is there? Why bother?
Yeah.
Why bother?
To build up the Usos as viable contenders.
Great.
Those newcomers to the scene, the Usos.
I'm assuming that Naomi won't beat Bailey at Elimination Chamber, and then Lacey will be the one. At
All right,
Mania.
we're getting a big Lex Luger-esque win for Lacey Evans at WrestleMania. And
That's
I
a
can't
great
wait.
comparison. That's
God,
exactly
the
what it is,
pride
isn't
I'm going to feel as a proud American.
You don't think there's any chance they're going to rush a Sasha Bailey?
I'd like that, but
I'd hope not me. I want a Sasha Bailey singles program to go 6 months.
Yeah, fair.
That's what it should do.
so you think Bailey will win at WrestleMania? Because I think
I would
Lacey
like
will win.
Bailey. I'm personally... Lacey's promo a few weeks ago where she was talking about her dad's addiction and stuff, that was amazing stuff. But just her going, oh, I'm American, the troops, etc. It's a bit lost on us British people,
It
isn't
is.
it?
I can't wait for her entrance. So that how are we going to react? Like, yeah, it's good.
We'll have to stand up.
You
and
say
adjust.
that. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, when I was a kid, I had the foam 2x4.
See,
Oh,
the fi-
USA!
The fix for Lacey Evans is to go around going, oh!
We've been lucky enough to go to a few wrestling conventions in our time on the internet, and I hate Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Why?
Because whenever we're at one that he's at, all you can hear from miles around is whenever someone sees him, just oh in the distance. Try to do interviews with people and that, trying to interview Al Snow or someone. All you can hear in the background is just oh, you're just like
He's a tough
Hacksaw.
guy. He's great. I think he's funny.
It's not his fault, is it? It's his fault that he's so popular.
What was his gimmick? Was he just a bit thick?
Stupid.
Was
That was
it?
he was the 2x4, wasn't he? Just a plank. I don't know if he was.
He was
I
a
love
work,
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
his
me.
gimmick was that he was a working
Well
class
saved.
hero. He was a working class hero, wasn't he?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Oh well.
Do you remember when he shaved his beard off in WCW? Looks
didn't
so
look
weird.
weird. Yeah, didn't
like
look right.
Hogan without the moustache.
Oh, that's weird as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Later on, we had a contract signing between Braun Strowman, the IC champion, and the man he took it from, Shinsuke Nakamura. But then Sammy, right, I didn't quite know what to make of this. Sammy, because Sammy and Cesaro were there with Nakamura, of course, changed the contract so that it was a 3-on-1 handicap match now, and that's just fine.
So Adam,
That's the way contracts
as
work.
the guy who signs the contracts in the office, if you signed the lease for this office, you've agreed the contract, they bring it in for you to sign, you could go
Yeah, no, I
and
changed
change everything.
I changed the rent to 20 quid a month.
Yeah.
And I've just been paying 20 quid a month.
Yeah.
It's all fine. That is how contracts work.
That
I
is.
love wrestling, me.
Strowman was annoyed, but said that he can deal with all three of them anyway, which I'm 99% sure that he can.
Well, that was how it became legally binding because he said, I can take you three, and then he signed. And then because he said it just before he signed, that was the actual reason for Sammy doing that.
Well, then Strowman, did he kicked off, as wrestlers often do in a contract signing, but it didn't go well for him. The heels beat him down, and they put him through the table.
I can't understand who wins. Like, who can come out with this?
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman wins, yeah.
Well, yeah, I've gone for that in the predictions, but even if I don't know, who
It's
cares?
annoying that
Who
it's
cares?
the three most wrongly utilized guys, like Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Nakamura, all guys who should be in the main event picture at various points throughout their career. Obviously, Nakamura's been there with AJ and all that sort of stuff. But why those three? It's so annoying.
It's really weird because their gimmick seems to be stable of three of the best wrestlers in the world who aren't
and one
portrayed in
who,
that
one,
way.
who, one who isn't allowed to wrestle.
Yeah.
Technically, he's a manager.
And then who else would close the show but Big John Cena. He cut a promo about how he'll continue to be a WWE... Right, this was a very hypocritical promo.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It was immediately hypocritical as well. He'll continue to be a WWE superstar, but wants to step back from WrestleMania if he's not needed, because matches there are earned and not given. Remember that? Matches there are earned and not given. Then the lights went down and The Fiend appeared behind him on the stage and pointed at the sign, totally contradicting everything that was previously said.
Yep.
All right.
John earned that finger point.
Well, over the years of his career.
He earned that finger point.
Do you think it's fine because it's a... He shouldn't have said all this if they were going to do
No.
that. But do you think it's fine because it's not a title match? It's less offensive than Roman and Goldberg's build?
I'm excited to see it, so I'm going to be a bit forgiving on it, because I actually think, like, if Fiend goes over, that's a big thing, and that'll... If it's WrestleMania, baby. But I think that's probably what will happen, and then it'll maybe have all been just about worth it, even the Goldberg stuff.
I'm not arguing that Cena doesn't deserve to be on the WrestleMania card because he's John Cena. He probably should be on the WrestleMania card. It was just the way they did it with that promo. Is he the heel?
No.
He is, though.
No, it's John Cena.
It felt weird, the pointing, didn't it? Didn't feel
Yeah, the
in
Fiend
fitting
shouldn't be
with the
doing
character.
that,
No.
If he was going to point, he should do a cool, spooky point.
He should have appeared on the sign or something. Okay, yeah.
I don't know how
that's
you
good.
do.
Swiftly on to Monday Night Raw.
Little crap.
Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman opened Monday Night Raw. Heyman insulted Drew. He called him a big stupid bitch or a stupid big bitch, something like that.
Love that. The go-to word. The one word that they can say. I know, actually, they've said the S word as well quite recently.
Shayna said it, yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't say that to
PG era
someone.
is over, baby.
So Drew came out and Heyman immediately bailed because he can't fight Drew. Lesnar tried to sneak attack Drew, but Drew was ready. And he blasted him with a Claymore. Then we had a long lingering shot of Brock recovering for ages and ages. Heyman helping him up. Brock going, I'm all right. Putting the belt on, getting to the top of the ramp. And then Drew just came out and hit him again, which is brilliant.
Pick up the belt. Pick up the belt.
And then a third time. And then he was instructed loudly, by Brock to pick up the belt.
I like that from Brock. Obviously, it's a bit weird and everything, but it's nice to see that Brock cares about the visuals. He's a guy who we all think he just turns up and he gets paid and whatever, but he actually cared about how this story's paying out, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, because he's winning at the end. No, I don't think. No, he can't be. This is
Not the main event match, surely. But then 34 happened, didn't it, with Roman? He won that one.
This has made me a bit worried because it seems like it's a good build. Like, I like this segment. Drew's got Brock's number and all that, and he's not gonna be a Ricochet. More on that later. But I'm worried that means that the start of that match at Mania is going to be Claymore, one, bang, he's up, and then it all goes from there. Quite
maybe.
scared. Next up, tag team title action. The start of this week's Raw was really good, actually. Rollins and Murphy defending the belts against the Street Profits, and of course, if the challengers lost, they could never challenge for the Raw belts again. The AOP tried to get involved, but the referee argued with them. He was about to eject them, and with the referee distracted, Kevin Owens ran in, stunned Rollins, and that led to the title change. New champions on Raw.
Nice.
It's a bit of a harsh stipulation on them, wasn't it? They've had 3 shots in 4 months or something, or 4 in 3, something like that. And that's the last one ever if they lose.
It was a weird one.
Oh.
Part of me thinks that they saw the Cody Jericho stipulation and thought, "Ooh, we'll have a bit of that."
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. I liked the match though. It
Yeah.
was good. It really swerved me. I thought with the AOP there at the top of the ramp waiting, I was like, they're gonna win, but by DQ, so the belts won't change hands, but they can still have a future title shot. But no, they did it. They did the switch. I don't mind it.
Angelo Dawkins, tag team champion. What I'm here for.
He
What?
deserves it.
Yeah, good. He's brilliant, isn't he? Well, I hope they enjoy the pre-show at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. I was about to be like, oh no, but yeah. Do you think? I'll ask you this, Ross, because you're quite emotionally invested. Do you think Colin is coming back for WrestleMania for the Battle
Colin
Royal?
and Michael. That'll be the Raw Tag Team title match, surely. That's what they've been building towards. Street Profits have been doing the backstage segments.
Oh, they have.
Taking the piss out of Saturday Night Live and whatever news bit they do. Colin and Michael will be like, how dare you do that to us? We'll take your championships, buddies.
I really thought Colin had something in that Battle Royal.
Piss off.
What? I mean, he is like an actor.
He's got the charisma. He's got the look. He's a handsome man. He's tall. He was tall. Remember in the ring, he didn't look small compared to the other wrestlers. He looked less muscular, but he was
But
tall.
you cannot have them two beating Street Profits.
He had a similar voice to Cody Rhodes. Remember, he sounded like Cody.
Who would you be rooting for in this match, Jack?
Colin.
Yeah, just Colin,
Yeah,
honestly.
Colin.
Get you, Michael.
Oh
Colin.
no! If he was in the Battle Royal, if it's the tag match, then Colin's got to get the pin.
They're going to do it, aren't they?
Win the titles?
No, just have the match.
Maybe?
Street Profits versus SNL.
They could have Street Profits and then SNL are there to cheer them on. That's
How would
more.
they cheer them on when they've taken their shtick?
Nah, they'll make up like the week before on Raw. They go, you know what? We'll be in your corner.
Yeah.
Colin could try and turn on them. He is a heel.
He is a heel.
Yeah.
Then Braun Strowman can flatten him.
Yeah.
And we'll laugh.
Well, Braun will probably be on the pre-show as well. The IC belt hasn't
It's
been
going to be
built
a
up
stacked
recently.
pre-show. I can't wait for WrestleMania night, me.
I think it depends if they can get Tyson Fury, chuck 20 million at him. Because they've got beef still.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got his fight, hasn't he, in June or July against
Right.
Wilder again.
Oh, is that soon?
I think so. It's
Bloody
in
hell.
Las Vegas. I know that much, I think. I don't know. Boxing.
Next up, 24/7 title match. Riddick Moss beat Ricochet clean as a whistle in a few minutes. Just a few minutes.
He looked good, though.
Oh, he looked great, and I don't mind Riddick Moss being elevated because he looks almost as promising as Colin. But if anyone can lose to Riddick, it's not Ricochet.
No, it shouldn't have happened.
No.
But I've worked. I have written it down on my script for WTF moments, and I forgot to read it out, and I was devastated because it's groundbreaking stuff at him. He holds the belt up at the end, And there's a shot in Triple H's entrance video from 2001 where Triple H does that, and they look exactly the same.
Oh.
Riddick Moss is the modern-day cerebral assassin.
He is good, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just a bit boring.
It just makes you wonder why he's been in NXT for about 25 years, and they never ever used him for a prolonged period on TV. Never gave him a big angle. He was part of that tag team with Tino Sabatelli.
It'll just be because Vince has seen him. He's gone, oh, yeah. I genuinely think that might be why. Why? We don't know why Vince suddenly does not enjoy Ricochet at all.
I can see why, because he can't cut promo.
Well, yeah. But
I get bored during Ricochet's promos, and it's a real shame.
But why elevate him so far and then just immediately...
Or just do what AEW are doing great, and that is highlights people's strength,
Right.
and then with Jake Hager, you never have him speak, because he can't.
Right.
He can't cut a promo, he can't speak.
I feel like Ricochet comes across as quite genuine and quite likable in those backstage performance center things when he's being a really supportive boyfriend to Katie Catanzaro or whatever.
Oh,
So
Trevor.
So yes, he can't run out and do a really raw bullet point scripted promo like a robot. That'll come across really badly. But he can have genuine moments. I'd like to see him in a bit of a loose sit down interview sort of thing. That would be fine.
But the stuff they give him is the basic wanky
Right.
baby face. Oh, I'm here to fight. And blah, blah.
And it's even
Superheroes are real. Who's going to get behind that?
no, and it's hard for even like good mic workers to make that work. Yeah, not very good. But it was a weird defeat. I don't understand it at all. Also, just before we move on to the next point, I just shoved it in here. Eric Rowan, excuse me, his mystery pet was revealed. It's a big spider.
Yep.
I've got nothing to say about it. He's gonna pretend it's real, and we're just gonna be sat there going, "You're a stupid man with a toy spider that you think's real."
I was saying to Adam the other day, I feel like we might never see it again.
I hope so.
This is just their excuse to write
Maybe
it
it's
off
a
now.
decoy for Hornswoggle.
not
Hornswoggle
gonna be
pops out the spider thing.
It's not going to be Hornswoggle. I'm sorry. I really...
I don't want it to be Hornswoggle.
Can he fit in that?
No. No.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
I just don't understand like what the thinking is, because who's going to possibly not even get behind it, but find any enjoyment in that absolute bollocks?
Sam's scared of spiders. It'd be an effective heel move for him. He'd be like, I don't like that.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I used to live with him. I was the designated spider destroyer.
I love spiders.
You love
I think
them?
I've told this before.
Oh.
I used to come home and my mum used to have to check my hair because I felt sorry for spiders and let them live in my hair because they don't have proper homes and people always like walk through spider webs and stuff. So I'd just put them in my hair and come home.
How old were you?
16.
No.
I don't know, 6 or 7.
Are you making this punishment for Sunday?
Am I making the punishment?
Yeah, it's Eric Rowan's mystery box is one of the options.
Oh, yeah.
Who's behind this?
I don't know. Me. There you go.
Next up, one of the announced matches, but it did have to be changed because Asuka, I think, sprained her wrist before the show.
Was it real?
I don't know.
Because I think they've just gone, whoops, we shouldn't do this match on Raw. We should save it for a pay-per-view.
Maybe. But Kairi Sane stepped in to replace her against Shayna Baszler. They've obviously had history and some big, long, epic matches against each other, but not this one because Shayna's being pushed and Kairi isn't. Shayna won, and I think I misconstrued what was going on here. I think you understood it a bit better. Becky came out halfway through, and you think she was deliberately loud and obnoxious.
This was Tom. Because I just thought, oh, this is just her being the man. But
this was Tom.
Yeah, Tom reckons it's deliberate. You're setting someone up before they fall, then they go away for a bit and come back and go, oh, I was too confident and it got knocked down. Here I am, back to being my normal self. But I was just watching it thinking, I just don't like you anymore. Like, I was fully behind the man's ascension towards whatever, SummerSlam 2 years ago, that whole journey. And then she's coming out with bags of money now and breaking the law, and well, that's just silly wrestling bollocks. And then she's on this week's, she's been saying for a few weeks now, Shayna, if I get my hands on you, blah, 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 blah. And then she had the chance to, and she just sat there in a chair with her stupid coat on. She reminds me of Christian from like 2001.
Right.
Dressed like a twat, sounding like a twat.
maybe it is deliberate.
Yeah, maybe
I
it
mean,
is.
she was sat there with, there's that image that's perfect for a hype video with the crown, with Jerry Lawler's crown on, thinking she's amazing. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's an obvious play on Conor McGregor, and now it's getting to that stage.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I hope they're not, because she's all got, I don't know. If she does go away for a few months and then come back and be the normal man, if you want, they're setting it. Why would you turn her sort of heel when she's like the most popular? Even if it's for a short time, I don't know why you would do that.
I don't know either, but if anyone's good, she can pull it off probably.
Oh, she was good.
Yeah.
She was good in the role, but
Yeah.
not the role that we think she's playing at the minute. Or I thought anyway.
Well, I guess we'll see further down the line.
That's storytelling.
Would you like to see Becky Lynch as a heel?
No, I don't think she needs it. I think she's probably shifting quite a lot of merch still. And what's the point? If she's going to go away for a bit, why build her up as a heel for, 4 weeks so she can piss off for a bit?
Yeah.
And yeah, I do find her annoying. I don't personally think that's their intention. I think they're just like... It's like Vince has gone on Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine, and checked Twitter from 3 years ago and seen what's popular there, like the crappy glasses and all that stuff. And she's just annoying, isn't she?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a shame because I 6 months ago, I can't believe I'd have been saying that.
It is only a recent thing. The past few weeks, she's just become really heelish in her mannerisms and her look and everything.
Yeah, fair enough.
Weird.
So that was Raw. Oh, no, it wasn't. I've missed out a huge segment. Excuse me. Beth Phoenix comes out to give an update on the health of Edge. She's immediately cut off by Randy Orton, who cuts, in my mind, an amazing promo. Beth Phoenix slaps him. He gives her the RKO, and we end Raw on a big sad note, but a very effective one as well.
It was just the perfect segment.
It's great.
That's what I called it, yeah.
I like the kick that he no-sold completely.
He had a little shock. He went, oh.
I think people were saying she got him in the bollocks. I thought it was just straight at the abdomen. Because under his breath, it was good. Like it was like under his breath, he goes, "You're a bitch," and then she kicks him. It was fantastic.
I thought his promo had a lot of truth to it. It was really dark about injuries and wrestlers not being able to. We've seen it countless times, like wrestlers carrying on beyond when they physically should, and their bodies breaking down and stuff. It was really dark. But obviously, sometimes the best heels are the ones that have a point, but then take it to villainous extremes. And he did that by saying, I've done this for your family. I love your husband and your daughters more than you ever could, and all this. Oh, so good. I mean, it's leading edge, right, versus Orton. Yeah.
No, Beth
versus Orton.
Got to get a revenge, hasn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Apparently they're doing a tag match. Divas of Doom. Beth and Natalia versus
for
Kyrie and
God's
Asuka.
sake.
But that's what I read the other day.
Oh.
It doesn't make sense now.
Beth and
after all,
Natalia
it's just
versus
knackered.
who? Wait.
So, the
Kabuki Warriors.
Kabuki Warriors, yeah. Asuka and Kyrie.
I thought you meant Beth and Edge against Orton and Natalia. I was like, what?
Yeah. Orton's wife.
Orton's
10
wife.
years, Natalia. Sorry,
Remember
TJ.
when she answered the door when she shouldn't have answered the door? That was a different wife. That was an actress, wasn't it? Anyway.
He's had 3 different wives in WWE, Orton.
3 different actresses playing as well. Yeah.
There's one on the bus that time, backstage.
Right.
All the fun of the fair.
That was Raw. Better than SmackDown, certainly, but a show of extremes, wasn't it? Good stuff. Weird, awful stuff. But I think it was, on the whole, all right. Dynamite now, which again wasn't as amazing and spectacular as recent Dynamites have been, but I think it was a necessary Dynamite to set up a new cycle of storylines and stuff. So we had Moxley and Jericho exchanging words to open the show. Jericho promises that Moxley won't leave on his own 2 feet at the end of the night. And I was fully sucking in. I thought, well, he is going to be able to then. Because Jericho said, if you do, I'll take a 60-day leave of absence. And I thought, I had a little Google, and Fozzy are touring soon.
It's April the 16th it starts, though, and it goes all the way through until November.
So that's when he'll be.
That's a long tour.
It's only 30-odd dates, though. Like
right, so you can pop back.
34 dates or something like that. But the 60-day thing starting, like, today yesterday. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Well, it didn't happen because Moxley was able to.
Moxley.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Moxley walked away, so Jericho's
Did he?
gone. Jericho's
He
gone.
walked away.
He did the promo, didn't he?
What?
Did he?
No.
What did I see at the end of the show?
Was this off camera?
He walked down right at the end, didn't he?
I think I've missed this, and I did graded and everything.
He got beat down by Hager and...
Can't wait to see the comments on that
I
video.
know.
I can't remember. I've gone blank
So
myself now.
what I've got here is Jericho promises that Moxley won't leave on his own 2 feet at the end of the night. I'm so worried now. The main event is a tag match between Jericho and Sammy Guevara and Moxley and Darby Allin. The Inner Circle jump Moxley during his entrance, and the heels beat Darby Allin in what is a glorified handicap match. At one point, he hot tags himself in because Moxley's off somewhere beating
I remember that one.
close to the corner and goes, oh,
Yeah.
and then runs wild. I can hear Jim Cornette going, oh, right now. Afterwards, Moxley tries to attack the Inner Circle,
This is what I must be misremembering. I watched it about 20 minutes ago.
but they beat him down. Hager choked him out, and they powerbombed him off the stage.
Off
through
the
a table.
stage. That's the bit that happened, Adam.
Oh, God. Wipe that
bloody
bead of sweat
hell.
from one's brow.
Jeez.
I thought you might have been watching the Fight TV version where it's just completely different and Jim Ross is just saying, oh, she's sexy.
What is that?
There was none of that this week from Jim, unfortunately.
Jim was all right this week.
He was all right, aye.
So that was the start and the end of the show. We'll see what else happened. Colt Cabana made his official roster debut in ring alongside SCU in an 8-man tag against the 4 regular members of the Dark Order. So Uno, Grayson, Reynolds, and John Silver, who's not a pirate.
That finish is class, isn't it? I saw a GIF of Colt Cabana getting the pin.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's so good. What
The
a cool- I've
Chicago
never-
skyline.
You know what? I've never seen a full match from Colt Cabana, I
Right.
don't think. Was he in WCW?
You watch, man. Against Ryback. We were there.
Did we?
You were drunk.
Was
like.
it Evolve?
You don't remember that show
I
we
didn't
went
go.
to at WrestleMania 33 week?
I didn't go.
You didn't go?
I was in the flat.
The one where Brandy Rhodes
We
took...
saw Ryback versus Colt Cabana. Oh, because they had beef because of the CM Punk podcast.
Yeah, with
oh,
Brandy Rhodes went through thumbtacks on the same card.
Yeah, I have seen a Colt Cabana match. It was
wasn't
against Ryback.
I was at Wally Mania at the time. There was so much stuff going on that week, but I'm starting to miss that card because it sounded fun.
I can't remember that. I just remember that match happening and Brandy going through the tacks.
BWO, I remember. Sandman
Came out because people were going...
Yeah.
Well,
Bashed
Brandy went through something. That was a DDT Ironman Heavy Metalweight Championship because I interviewed her like the day after and she was talking about how she'd won that belt. And I don't think she believed me when I went, I won that belt the other day as well. And she was like, yep, cool. I was like, yep.
Piss off, kid.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just Brandy that she buries everybody. Chris Statlander, not a real alien.
Oh, yeah.
Just a stupid woman in stupid paint.
She's a babyface again now, Brandy, which is nice. But yes, the babyface win after Cabana does his excellent finisher and then his excellent pinfall, the Superman dive, which is great. Evil Uno is livid on the microphone afterwards, but he doesn't reveal who the Exalted One is.
He's not happy, though.
No, he's not.
Whoever it is.
He said he won't be happy about it, yeah.
Aye.
Heads will roll.
Aye.
Cody comes out, cuts a promo, and is basically devastated that he's lost to MJF, and he calls out MJF, but instead...
Did you watch the Fight TV version?
When he's giving a shout out to the cameraman and everything.
Why did they show that?
What do you mean?
I mean, they had no chance, but why did Cody do that?
'Cause he's a nice man.
He's cutting this promo about him being gutted, but just seconds before they're off, like when they're off the air during commercials, going, shout out to the doctor at ringside. All the cameramen, they're great, aren't they? Everyone's having a good time. We're back on the air in 3, 2, 1. Oh no, I'm so sad.
In a weird way, I think it fit his character, because if anyone's going to put aside his emotions to give the fans what they want and shout out the working man for
I
helping
guess.
the show, it's Cody Rhodes.
But I'm far more simple than you, so I
No,
saw two different things and I felt weird.
They're both equal readings of the situation, but he's instead met, not by MJF, but by Jake the Snake Roberts, as you mentioned, who cut a hell of a promo. So many good lines.
Yeah.
The best one's the closing line for my money.
A wise man once told me I shouldn't fear a man. I turn my back on.
Never turn your back on someone you respect or
And
fear.
fear, yeah.
And he just turns his back on him immediately.
Perfect
and throws
throw
the mic.
as well with the
Cody
mic.
caught it, to be
Yeah.
fair. He should have fumbled it, put him over. And he's got the long and short of it is that Jake Roberts has got a mystery client who wants to wrestle Cody, and he says, "I'll be in that guy's corner. You can bring that one-trick pony on Anderson."
Aye.
On was a great wrestler, better than Jake in the ring.
It should be Luke Harper. It should be Brody Lee.
I think it's gonna be
him and Jake together. Yes, please.
I think this would be Lance Archer, because they announced Lance Archer last week as appearing on Dynamite, then they did a WWE and didn't bloody show what they promoted. Plus, I can't believe Jake would have that haircut all the time. It's half a Lance Archer, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
I'm clutching it way too much. But I just can't imagine Jake having that haircut all the time.
Archer can talk though, can't he? I'd say he's probably a better promo than.
Well, I was going to say
Brody
Harper
Lee.
was a better
Do you
promo.
reckon? Okay.
But, don't know.
It's difficult to tell, isn't it? Because I'm not seeing much of his indie stuff promo wise. It's WWE. They didn't really give him much.
Everyone loves him backstage. They did a WWE. He was always really popular, wasn't he? Maybe he's a hoot.
Can I get booked?
And finally, the last thing to talk about from that show, Pac defeated Chuck Taylor, and then afterwards, Orange Cassidy got in his face. Everyone was like, "Oh!" But then the Lucha Bros came out and helped Pac beat down the baby faces, and then Pac announced that they're called, right, there's two names to this new trio. One sounds a lot fancier than the other. So Pac goes, "We are the Death Triangle," but the Lucha Bros go, "We're the Triangulo de la Muerte," which I was like, "Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
But I'm really excited for that little group. They're all vicious. I like Pac as the mouthpiece. And I think they're going to have some great matches. Presumably it's going to be a feud with the Best Friends. And then maybe Jurassic Express in the future.
You've got a lot of trios now, aren't they?
They do. Do you think there's going to be belts?
Probably.
I hope there's not.
Yeah, me too.
Ring of Honor did, didn't they? Was it Ring of Honor? Am I getting my indie companies mixed
Maybe.
up with trios titles?
Can't think.
Yeah, they did,
Chikara
yeah.
had
Yeah.
one. All right. I guess Ring of Honor did. New Japan.
Young Bucks I'm on about when they were there.
Oh, that makes sense. Right, yeah. Anyway.
Fetish for trios wrestling.
And now on to NXT. There was 2 cage matches on NXT, lots of action. First of all, Tegan Nox took on Dakota Kai in another match in their feud, this time in one of the cage matches. Nox dominated but couldn't put Dakota Kai away. She tried to climb out, even though the door was right there, but she's a babyface. She tried to climb out the top, Raquel Gonzalez was on the outside, and it's a finish I don't think I've seen before.
I thought it was it's the only bit of NXT I've seen. I thought it was genius, mate.
Right, she squashed her with the door,
And then held the
pinned her
door in
against
there.
it,
Fantastic.
and Dakota came out the doorway. So Dakota Kai won that one. Presumably, there's going to be a blow off that Knox wins. Surely,
A doors match.
the door match. Yeah.
Through the keyhole.
Oh yes.
Dr. Frost. What was he called? Frost.
Who did through
David
the
Frost.
David Frost.
Who would live in a house like that one?
Anthony. No, not Worrell Thompson.
He steals cheese.
What?
Steals cheese from the shops, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He got done, didn't he, a few years ago for nicking some cheese from
Did
Tesco
he?
or something, yeah.
Celebrity chef Anthony Worrell Thompson. Yeah.
Did he?
Aye.
He's dead now, right?
No.
Oh,
I think he is.
Is he?
Yeah, he
I
might
think
be.
is.
Oh, rest in
Oh,
peace,
no.
Anthony.
Hall of Fame next week, don't worry.
Austin Theory picked up a big victory over Isaiah Swerve Scott, but he did cheat to win. He raked the eyes. Austin Theory's they're building him up, aren't they? Because he's a future star.
He's just a perfect man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Makes you sick looking at him.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Johnny Gargano had a very tense sit-down interview with Mauro Ranallo, and Mauro was fantastic in this. Mauro asked, why? Why did you do it? Why did you turn on Ciampa? Which, to me, I agreed with Johnny, because he turned on him.
Yeah,
ages
fair.
ago. But Johnny was a bully. He was furious. He accused Mauro of not reaching out to him after TakeOver Portland. He was like, where was your call, Mauro? You care about how I felt? And Mauro was like, I'm sorry, Johnny. Oh, no. That's a bit offensive. Sorry, Mauro.
God.
Mamma
that,
mia.
that was more JR. It
was more JR.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll work on that. But Mauro was then apologising and everything. Johnny said, yeah, but you still went on the air and called me Johnny Turncoat, didn't you? When Ciampa came back, you still went, oh, Daddy's home. And it's just like, Johnny's really, he feels, what's the word? Aggrieved, unjust. He feels like justice hasn't been done to him. I think. Mauro runs away, says, I'm going to get out of here. And Johnny hypes up next week's NXT. There's not a match between Gargano and Ciampa, but they're both going to be there. Because next week's NXT is coming from the Performance Center. Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Don't know.
Okay. Just a 1 week thing, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
Think of the brawls. Think of the weapons that can get
It'll
involved.
look nice, won't it? It was the Super Bowl halftime show.
Halftime heat.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and it looked really nice.
It did.
I've seen a match there actually. Thinking about it, and it's cool because they got the ramp set up all the time and everything, so
Can
they
you
can practice
say,
their
you
entrances.
say what the match was?
I can't remember. It was
Okay.
that good.
Good.
It was heavy machinery. Heavy
was
machinery,
it?
yeah, versus couple of jobbers.
Okay.
Couple of
jobbers, eh? And the main event, Velveteen Dream, that awful heel babyface Velveteen Dream against horrible babyface heel Roderick Strong, because I kind of want him to win.
Yeah,
Even though
leave
he's
his family alone.
Yeah.
Damn it.
In a steel cage main event, but I did enjoy Velveteen Dream here. So Undisputed Era are trying to get involved. He goes over the top, Velveteen Dream. He's about to escape the cage, but they're all on the outside. They're ready for him, so he has to go back in. The Undisputed Era all climb up the cage, and he starts knocking them off, bashing into the side and everything. He grabs Adam Cole, drags him into the ring, and realizes, I've got the NXT champion in here with me. So he throws Roderick Strong out, takes the loss, locks the door shut, and batters Adam Cole. That's
Nice. Yeah, that's
tactics.
cool.
And yeah, it looks like Velveteen Dream's been set up as the next number one contender. I'm assuming he wouldn't win. He doesn't seem to be the guy to take it from Cole for me.
No, it should be a great match. I see him as a future world champion, whether it's in NXT or main roster, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think it'll be yet, no.
It's going to be interesting what mind games he plays. He can't go after the family, can he?
What of Adam Cole?
She can't exist, can she?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
in the
doctor.
NXT.
That's true. I don't like it when he does the mind games. Doesn't make me want to cheer for him.
No,
It's a heel move.
Leave his family alone.
Anyway, that was NXT. Strong from both NXT and AEW this week, I think. Raw was good, partly, and SmackDown was just SmackDown, wasn't it?
SmackDown was there.
Yeah. Any other wrestling you want to talk about? Matthew's obviously going to 16 karat gold. Hopefully he has a good time.
Yeah, I hope
He's
comes
got
back.
the trains are buggered, aren't they, in Germany or something? So
Are
it's going to
they?
be even harder to get to.
I think Leo Rush is in that tournament.
No, he got
got
pulled
pulled.
out.
Did he? Right,
Replaced
okay.
by Jeff Cobb.
Okay.
Um,
Oh yeah, he hasn't turned back up in AEW yet.
Oh, yeah.
He's a member of the Inner Circle. Or he's there like Hitman. Strange.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there hasn't been much more wrestling to talk about. Obviously, shows in Japan have been getting cancelled because of the coronavirus and everything. But we've got Elimination Chamber this weekend to look forward to. So I thought someone was coming in there. The door sounded like he was going. Let's go to the next segment. I'm not. And you know what? No, we've given Matthew a bit of stick, but this is hard. This.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like I'm not especially on form today as well.
Really?
I mentioned this in the video earlier, but I woke up this morning and trod on a light bulb, and I can feel that my
You
my
trod on
foot's
a light
getting-
bulb?
Yeah, barefoot. I can feel that my socks getting wet. So if I'm not on form, it's been a tough week. This has been the most stressful week since we started the company.
Really?
100%.
Bloody hell.
The rebrand has been, So sorry for not being fun. I'm apologising.
No, you've been fine.
This week
Adam,
in wrestling.
you've been great.
Come on.
Let's go to the mailbag.
Let's have a rummage in our mailbags.
So our first one this week comes from Mason from North Dakota, who says, Dear Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast crew, after watching AEW's Revolution this past Sunday, I began to think of the following. In AEW's short history, their only two world champions, men's world champions, have both been former WWE guys, Jericho and Ambrose/Moxley, respectively. Even though they both have totally new characters/gimmicks, do any of you think that this will hurt AEW in the long run? Also, who would you like to see as the first quote-unquote AEW guy to win the World Championship? Thank you for taking the time to read this, as I know many lapsed wrestling fans appreciate your work more and more each day to help us get back into the business. That was Mason again from North Dakota.
First of all, I don't think it will hurt them at all. I think it makes perfect sense in the infancy of the company to put it on established guys that an audience are going to be familiar with. And the second part, MJF.
Ooh, MJF.
Yeah.
I would argue that John Moxley is not a WWE guy in the slightest.
Okay.
Ambrose is.
Because Ambrose is, and
Right.
Ambrose was very different to John Moxley. Yes, it's the same head, but what he's doing is very, very different.
The body's different.
The body, well, he's still hench, isn't he? He's got one, maybe. I can't think of who MJF is a good shout. I'm trying to think on the babyface side of things.
Darby
Allin.
Yeah,
maybe. Could I see him with that big belt?
Oh. All right.
Orange
Vince.
Cassidy.
I think I agree with you. I think it was the right decision. In hindsight, I think if they put it on Hangman Page at the start, the belt, then that would have been...
He would have been buggered.
He would have turned against him.
Yeah.
But now he's one of the most over guys on the roster, so he could be the first AEW guy to win the belt. In fact, that's who I'm going to say.
Nice.
Hangman.
Things would be so different, wouldn't they? It's weird to think that it was either going to be Pac or Page.
Yeah.
Just because Jericho's reign was great as well.
Pac or Page or Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
Jericho, but they would have taken on Jericho. But I'm guessing Jericho would have won either way.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so, yeah.
But yeah, I'll say Hangman. Although there's loads they've been building.
Give it
people
to
so
Jake
well.
the Snake.
No, don't give it to
Give
Jake
it
the
to-
Snake.
How old's he? Early 60s?
Must be early 60s, yeah.
Old
Next,
as Jen.
what? Sorry,
As old as Jen.
as old as. Next one. G'day, boys. Greetings from down under. Oh, here we go. My question is with you. Cringe there. You're like,
I'm cold.
my question is with regard to entrance themes. When you ask a wrestling fan to name their favorite entrance theme, they will. Right. This is debatable in itself. They'll usually immediately go for Hulk Hogan's Real American. It is a classic. The iconic glass shattering of Stone Cold Steve Austin, or even the seemingly universally beloved Brood theme from the Attitude Era. That's a great theme. Love it. But I think there's a few more that he hasn't mentioned that are more ubiquitous. Maybe Sexy Boy.
Yeah.
Triple H, The Game, maybe.
Rock.
Vladimir Kozlov.
Yes, Vladimir Kozlov. But what would you consider to be some of wrestling's more underappreciated entrance themes? I personally love Nathan Jones's theme, probably because he was the first Aussie star we'd had since Outback Jack. He seemed to have a really bright future in the wrestling business, right up until WWE realized he couldn't really, wrestle. That's the words of this man, not myself, Nathan. He's going to be watching this, I guess.
From prison.
He's a... Oh, that was a gimmick. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought something had gone horribly
In
wrong.
his cell, banging the cage door. How dare Jack the Jobber say that?
He's a film star. He was in Mad Max, wasn't he?
Yeah, I
He's
think
the,
so.
the big guy, surprisingly. I also thought Dan Severn's theme was criminally underrated as well. I can't think of it.
Do 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 do.
Oh, that one.
Don't recognise it.
What say you, boys? Thank you so much for all the awesome content and amazing work you do each and every week. It's top shelf stuff. Cheers, Brad from Newcastle, Australia.
Bonza.
Newcastle, Australia. Thanks, Brad. So, underappreciated wrestling themes. You're dealing with the X Factor, is my immediate thought.
Okay, yeah.
Crack at that one.
Um,
Uncle
Greg.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
But apart from that obvious answer, what have we got?
Mike Awesome's, apart from this, I think this podcast is the only place that theme is celebrated as it should be.
Okay.
But also Vampiro's WCW theme.
Yes, I fully agree with that. That's brilliant.
Woo-hoo!
Like a Pearl Jam sounding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Delightful.
Really good.
I've got two that spring to mind. Apollo Crews, I think, is a lot of fun.
I can't remember it. Is that
Sounds a bit like American Alpha.
It's one of those generic
I was about to go-
CFO dollar signs.
Yeah, it is a bit, but
Yeah.
I like it. That sort of got me hyped.
Is it his or is it American Alpha's that's the da 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 da?
That's Apollo Crews.
Apollo, yeah.
That's Apollo's. Oh, it's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah, I like that one.
Luke Harper, I think it's called Swamp Gas. Remember when he came out of WrestleMania with all the eyes? It's that one, and I thought that was really wonderful.
Fair enough. I can't think of any more to add to that, really. I think Vampiros was a great shout. That's
I like
really
Vampiros.
good. That's not the music he demanded to be played, of course. That was Back in Black. At Triple Mania when he
Fart.
Yeah, I can't think. I guess I'll just stick with X Factor.
Yeah, nice.
Awful. Really bad theme tune. And finally, hey diddler, hey lads, brilliant. I've got a problem I'm hoping you can solve. I've recently started uni and no one I know watches the wrestling. I even had a girl tell me it makes her cringe inside and out. He's put that in quotation marks as well.
Sounds hot.
Coming from a place like New Jersey, where the indie wrestling scene is still fairly active, to a place where literally no one can fathom why someone would like wrestling unless you're a toothless hick or a child, has made me feel embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. I'd never give up something that makes me happy, so here's my question. How do I feel less embarrassed about feeling passionate about wrestling? Should I keep it to myself? Should I just stop caring? Or is there something simple I can say to help people understand its appeal to me? Thank you very much. Watching you guys every day has made my day at least a little bit better and kept me connected to the world of wrestling. With love, Joe.
Buy a big gold belt and carry it with you everywhere you go. Stop showering, and just embrace the wrestling fandom. No,
Do the very opposite of that advice,
you
Joe.
know what? Like,
I was going to say, neck a bottle of whiskey before any social situation. If anyone takes the piss out of you, just do the Randy Orton pose in their face. That'll show them.
Suck it!
Yeah.
I found that as I got older, because when I started uni, that was when I was sort of getting back into it as well because of CM Punk and everything. I went to uni in 2011, so that was just after the summer of Punk. And I think that as you get older, you just meet more people. People care less about being cool about their hobbies, and you meet more people who are just going to be openly into it. But at the start of uni, I was the same. I kept it a secret. I didn't want anyone to know.
I got into it at uni.
Yeah,
People on my course used to get together and just drink and watch the wrestling and have a laugh. That's how I got back in.
Fair play. But yeah, I'm assuming, I guess that as you get older, it'll just become more of a natural thing.
there's a really great quote, which is sometimes attributed to Jeff Jarrett, sometimes Vince McMahon. So I don't actually know who said that, but I think it's really true. And it's if you don't immediately recognize the beauty of professional wrestling, then you never will. So don't waste your time trying to convince people that wrestling's great, because if they don't get it, they're probably never going to get it, and that's fine.
I think that's true for some people, but we were all childhood wrestling fans.
Yeah.
We kind of got it straight away. But I have met people since who are quite new wrestling fans. I remember talking to one guy who I know who seems very knowledgeable. His name's Andy. He knows a lot about like the Fight Club Pro scene and the Attack wrestling scene, like UK indie stuff. But I remember once saying, he asked me like, who do you think's like the most natural wrestler of all time or something? And I think I said Eddie Guerrero. And he was like, I've never really seen any Eddie Guerrero. And I was like, how long have you been a fan for? And only about 2 or 3 years. But he still loved wrestling as much as like anyone would. So.
Did he like it when he first saw it?
I don't know. Actually, that's true. I don't know.
So you saying that Vince McMahon and or Jeff Jarrett are stupid?
Nah.
I've stopped caring. I talk about it really openly with everyone. And I guess we're in a privileged position because we've managed to turn our fandom into a career and all that. So it's easier for us to talk about it. It's a really big part of our lives. But honestly, just screw anyone who...
Yeah, like what you like.
Yeah.
As long as it's not being horrible to
And
people.
hit them with a sweet Stone Cold Stunner. That'll show them.
Don't do that, Joe. Thanks very much for your message. And thanks to Brad and Mason as well. Nice little mailbag. Now, let's go on to Reese's Pieces.
Mailbag at cultaholic.com.
I didn't even say the Patreon before.
Patreon.com/cultaholic. Matthew's underrated.
He really is.
ProWrestlingTees.com/cultaholic.
There's 4 on there.
4.
Ooh. Yes, it is time for Reese's Pieces. These come from Bryce from Maine this week. So Bryce from Maine, thank you very much. Ramsburg. The ref.
Aye.
You said Ramsburg?
Is it not Ramsburg?
Remsburg?
Is it Remsburg?
It is.
Well, you live and learn, don't you?
Holland, I think it is.
What? Holland.
Bryce Hungry.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm going to keep making jokes about that because I'm so humiliated that I got that wrong. Take your comments away.
So Bryce from Maine sent these in, and these were actually from a few weeks ago, but me and Ross deliberately kept them in reserve because it was to do with Elimination Chamber, so we thought we'd bring it out this week. So hey guys, with Elimination Chamber coming up, I've put together a Reese's Pieces putting different match stipulations against each other. I'm not sure if you guys have done one of these before, but I thought it would be a fun idea. So I've tried to do it based on stipulations that are somewhat similar. Some good, some not so good. Keep up the great work. I love and appreciate everything you do for the wrestling community. Thank you very much, Bryce. So remember, it's fastest thought first, and it's which one you prefer out of the two stipulations. We'll start with Adam, Ross, and then me. So Steel Cage or Hell in a Cell?
Oh, Hell in a Cell.
Steel Cage until, Hell in a Cell until last year, sorry.
Hell in a Cell?
Steel Cage now.
What do you mean?
Wait, they've ruined it, didn't they?
Every October.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, and the last
And the
last
rules
one
and
being
stuff, yeah.
the
Oh,
Fiend.
yeah, fair.
Iron Man or Last Man Standing?
Ooh, Last Man Standing.
Okay.
Iron Man.
Iron Man as well. An Iron Man match done really well
That Triple H and Rock one.
is better than a Brock Lesnar Kurt Angle, is what I was thinking as well.
yeah.
Is because Last Man Standing, you've always got that 10 count. You've never got a quick finish. You've got
That's true, yeah.
the best ones I can remember for Last Man Standing are when both people are struggling to their feet and then one falls and you don't know which one's gonna.
I will say with the Last Man Standing thing, it's always quite obvious what the final spot is. It's
Right.
something magnet, and then it's it, and then you got to wait for 10 seconds. I'll change my mind. You're right. It's an
Ooh.
Iron Man.
Oh.
You swayed me.
Casket match or Buried Alive?
Oh, I don't really like either casket match.
Buried Alive.
Casket, because Buried Alive terrified me as a kid.
I couldn't work it out for a long time.
How they
the
did
Masked
it?
Magician
How
thing,
they
isn't
did
it?
it,
They
yeah.
revealed it on
Little-
there. They got a little room next
little
door,
chamber
with
with
a TV and everything.
I'd be terrified still.
Yeah.
If I was losing a Buried Alive match. I'll go for Casket, but Buried Alive. So, do you think we'll ever see it again?
What's your favourite casket match, Jack?
I think it's Shawn Michaels and Undertaker from Royal Rumble.
He breaks his back.
It is, yeah, it's that one. Falls Count Anywhere. Oh no, also Phoenix versus Mil Muertes from Lucha Underground. They had one called Grave Consequences, but it was a casket match. Falls Count Anywhere or 2 out of 3 falls.
Falls Count Anywhere.
Anyway.
Falls Count Anywhere for me as well. War Games or Elimination Chamber.
Chamber.
Chamber, but NXT are doing wonders for the War Games stipulation for me.
Very true.
Really
you
good.
watch some of the old ones, and you rose tinted glasses.
I'm
You
scared-
think they're amazing. They were.
I'm scared to say I don't think they're amazing because the purists and they'll be like, they are amazing. I really want to see.
You're right. and
I
they're
really want
wrong,
to see.
Jack.
I really want to see 10 men walk around and go 20 minutes. No, some of them are dramatic. No, it's about the story. It's about Dusty versus the Horseman. Kennel of Hell or Punjabi Prison.
Oh, jeez. Kennel of Hell's great.
No,
It was
it's not.
funny. It was really funny. Them pissing on the floor and stuff. You don't see that enough in wrestling.
No, you don't.
More
yeah.
floor pissing.
The Punjabi prison.
Punjabi
I
Prison.
used to find it amazing how Batista would hoist his massive body everywhere around that thing.
It's never failed to make me laugh, the Punjabi Prison. When Khali came back and everyone knew that he would. It was so good.
He was the world champion that night.
He held it up. He took it off Jinder and went, yes. Inferno match or... Bryce, what have you done here? Inferno match or Gulf of Mexico match? Somewhat similar.
Inferno, I think.
What's a Gulf of Mexico match?
They had was it who did it? Was it Punk and Chavo? No, that was a different one. Who did the Gulf of Mexico match? Basically, they had to fight towards a body of water towards the Gulf of Mexico. They were in like
I had in my mind that it's JBL, but now that sounds wrong in my head.
the
I think
loser.
yeah, go on.
The winner had to throw the loser into the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, like that show Keith Chegwin used to do.
Naked
So I'll
Jungle.
pick that one. No, what was it called on Channel 5?
Naked Jungle.
No, not Naked Jungle. Stop talking about Naked Jungle. What was it called? It's a...
It's a knockout.
it's a knockout.
It's a knockout.
No, it wasn't really like it's a knockout.
They had water involved there, didn't they?
No, but the
Inflatables. No, there was a body of water. It's a bit like what's the one where they get bonked off the thing?
Total wipeout.
Total wipeout. It's just like that.
okay.
That's what I'm here for. What's
Okay.
happening
I
upstairs?
don't know. 6-man tag team match. He's put brackets holla holla, or a tornado tag team match.
Tornado.
Tornado.
Tornado is really good when it's done well. TLC or Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Because it's just a ladder match, isn't it? Love a ladder match.
That's true. Some TLC matches that were excellent. I'll go for.
Oh, in fact, yeah, what have I said there? TLC is better than Money in the Bank ladder match.
I don't know if he means one of those crazy multi-man TLCs or just like Cedar Edge as well. It could be-
right, okay.
You can have 2 types of TLC, can't you?
The
Yeah,
crazy moldy man.
I guess you get a free chair and a free table.
But
It's
then-
just a bonus, isn't it?
Money in the Bank does go somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
So does TLC. The hospital.
TLC it is then. And finally, oh, what a shout here. I can tell which one's going to win because one a lot of people liked and one nobody liked. So it's the Ultimate Deletion or the House of Horrors.
Yeah, Ultimate Deletion.
Ultimate Deletion, yeah.
Even I will say that the Ultimate Deletion, because the Ultimate Deletion was deliberately wacky in parts, but the House of Horrors tried to be cool. It was... What happened again? He turned
There's a
up...
fridge.
Got in the limo, didn't he? And
Orton
then
turned up in the limo.
Yeah, then they came back.
Bray came back.
Yeah,
Bray got in the limo
yeah.
and came back, and then Orton somehow got back as well.
After pushing the fridge on top of him. There was a fridge, wasn't
There's
there?
the fridge covered in skid marks, wasn't
I remember the
it?
very ornate napkins in the limo. They were like either lime green or orange. It was lovely.
Oh,
It was terrible, so bad.
yeah, it was.
And it was after their feud had already finished. It wasn't even for the
Was
belt.
it?
Wasn't even for the belt, yeah. It was after the brand split. So it couldn't be for the belt. Oh, awful. So yes, PS, says Bryce, I think it's only a matter of time before we get a Firefly Funhouse match of some sort. Thanks, guys. Bryce from Maine. Thank you, Bryce.
Would you be up for a Firefly Funhouse match?
A Firefly Funhouse match? No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. How do you do that? It's just one fixed camera, isn't it? Would it go around the Funhouse?
It's just a set backstage. Rollins got there.
He did,
Oh,
yeah.
Load of crap. That should never happened. That should never have happened.
Well, once again, if you want to send in any Reese's Pieces, you can do so at mailbag@cultaholic.com, and any questions for the mailbag as well. I need to stop saying let's go to the next segment because they're about to see it anyway. I'm going off.
With the new fancy graphics.
Whoa!
Here they are. Do it, Matthew.
It's Cultaholics.
And finally, as Matthew says, it's the big. He's got such enthusiasm for every time. Big question. The big question this week is, what makes for a good Elimination Chamber match?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Little stories playing out within the match itself. Like a good rumble.
Right.
You get the little bits between people who are feuding. And yeah, pretty much just that.
Fair enough.
A big crescendo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a big crescendo. Shawn Michaels springs to mind that moment.
It's
It's still the
fantastic.
greatest moment in Chamber history, I would say.
Yeah.
Not him winning, him
Oh, come on.
interfering.
Haven't I
Yeah.
through the fall?
I'll add a third thing. I think multiple potential winners. You
Nice,
You don't want a match-
unpredictability. That's the problem with this year's Chamber pay-per-view, isn't
Shayna
it? It
and-
does feel very predictable. Less so
I
on the
think he was
tag
gonna win
side.
the tag one, yeah.
Yeah.
But Lucha House Party are going to win that one.
But nobody cares.
No, true, yeah. Okay.
Also, not really contrived spots.
Not really contrived spots.
Yes, Nia Jax last year springs to mind.
What she
Bailey
ran
was in
through-
the corner, your pod door. When Bailey's here, your pod door's there, and she runs into the pod door somehow.
Oh, she just
When
missed Bailey.
She was aiming for Bailey.
I've got another one. The pod doors getting stuck is always very funny.
That's for a good one.
Yeah.
I'll add, like, without being contrived, without them obviously building up to it, a spot or two off the top of the pod. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Or John Morrison, who he just climbed it and just dropped down. What else? I always like it when none of the matches this year are, but when there's a title match, that moment where the champion doesn't make the final two. And you're like, oh, there's definitely going to be a new champion.
Edge getting eliminated first was so good.
Really good. Are we going to include things like, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, like Edge cashing in after that one, but then when Batista did it, he didn't really cash in, he just got given the match, and he felt like Cena got a bit screwed. Are we going to include other things outside of it?
You know what? We've just done a list, 10 quickest WWE title changes, which goes up this weekend. And we didn't count Money in the Banks, but that one is in there. That's one of the quickest title changes.
Batista's?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a Money in the Bank, yeah. I liked the story of Edge that year when he lost early
Oh, it was brilliant.
and then got
I
in the
didn't
other
see
one.
it coming either, which was nice.
Nice. I don't think I was watching at the time.
The attack on Kofi, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really great.
I remember either whenever I watched it first, once I was back into wrestling, or if I watched it at a time, I can't remember. I remember feeling really bad because Kofi was like my guy.
Oh, right.
Oh,
That was the most sort of my favourite ultimate opportunity of the ultimate opportunist.
Yeah, yeah.
Of that. That was my favourite thing that you did. I
it was
think.
really opportunistic.
Yeah, it was
good.
great.
Anything else? Do you think, I guess we'll end it by saying, do you think that either of those matches this weekend are going to be really good Elimination Chamber matches?
Tag has potential to be.
Yeah.
I think Shane is just going to dominate everyone, have a bit of a struggle with Asuka, but then win anyway. I think Shane is looking very strong this weekend.
It's hard to make that match captivating. They do have other storylines going on in it. They've got Mandy and... No, they don't. What am I talking about? They've got the Riot
Heavy
Squad.
Machinery
Sorry,
are in there. Something
they're in the
might play
tag
out.
one.
Yeah.
No,
Natalia's there?
Natalia's there.
Yep. Sweet.
I was thinking of the Riot Squad. They're in it, of course.
Oh yeah,
That's what I meant.
they
They're
got
gonna-
Liv and
It's Ruby and Liv on it.
I've mixed up my
Kill each other.
Riot Squad and my
Fire and Desire.
What were they called? Absolution.
Absolution.
Remember that?
Yeah.
God, that was weird.
Yeah, not very good either.
I've got a question. Old chamber or new?
What's the difference again?
Well, they've got padding around the thing. You've got more perspex to shoot cameras through and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
I think
good.
the new one's a lot better.
The new one's probably more functional, but the old one had a bit of a look about it, though.
I would have hated. I always felt sorry for them in the old one when they get slammed on the grating.
Look
Whoever
nasty.
designed that is a bastard.
It was
Yeah,
Jericho.
but that was cool, wasn't
Wait,
it?
was it Jericho?
Yeah,
No, it was Bischoff's idea.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
Bischoff's.
Jericho, I think, came up with the concept. If I remember correctly.
Legitimately killing them though. At
Wait,
least now
Yeah,
with a,
but it's
At least
bloody
now-
2 miles of chain, isn't it? It's meant to be, not 2 miles of padding.
Wait, Jericho came up with the concept in reality,
Yeah, I
like
think
Bischoff
so.
did in story. So was Jericho?
Is that wrong?
So did Jericho?
Oh, I'm dying here, aren't I?
Did Jericho kayfabe come up with Money in the Bank?
Oh, maybe I'm getting my things
No, no,
mixed
I
up.
Jericho
think
did Money in
My
the Bank.
foot's pooling with blood
In kayfabe
right
or
now.
real? Right, we'll end it there. Thanks very much to Adam and Ross for joining me on
Thanks
this
for having me.
podcast. Hopefully Matthew has a lovely time in Germany, and I think he'll be back next week. Podcast,
Yeah.
and he'll get to see this lovely new
Yeah,
sex
I feel
dungeon.
bad stepping in for Matthew here. This is, he hosts the podcast, and here I am with a bloody foot, messing everything up.
You got anything to plug?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I deserve it.
Oh, you've been
Go
all
buy a
right. You've
t-shirt,
been all
go
right. You've
buy
been
a
all right. You've
t-shirt.
been fine. Don't worry about it,
Ross.
Ross.
I've got a Straight to Hell coming this weekend with WWE Kickoff Showman Sam Roberts.
Oh,
I'm
really?
sorry for picking it up.
Oh.
WWE Champion Sam Roberts.
Roberts.
wrestling.
Champion of our hearts. Everyone loves him.
And thank you very much for
I
watching.
like Sam, by the way.
Yeah.
I had a good chat with him.
Yeah.
I think it was SummerSlam a few years ago. Bloody nice
I
bloke.
feel like they put him in a
He's
tough
nice.
spot.
Yeah, they
I
have.
think they do it on purpose. I think that they make him the smark and tell him to say wrong things because smarks are wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to ask her about that. I am.
Oh.
Oh.
Imagine if he just shoots you
I
down
know.
now.
Just
Ross, I
hands-
can't talk about
hands
that. actually.
And thanks very much to you for watching / listening. Once again, any questions / Reese's Pieces can be submitted to the mailbag at cultaholic.com. Any Patreon votes to patreon.com, / cultaholic. Now let's all put our hands in the middle and then do that thing that Matthew does. Hey, join us. It's balls. Huh?
Tickling them.
Tickling.